Hello everyone, and now welcome to game 1 in a series between Azubu's top and Gamma Bears' Sen here on New Cork Precinct. This is going to be a Terran versus Zerg matchup, and I am definitely looking forward to this game here. TVZ, and with two of the perhaps more well-known players currently in the TESL. Gamma Bears' Sen spawning as the blue Zerg on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Azubu's top spawning as the red Terran on the bottom left. Both of these players code S level at one point or another, I believe, and it should play to be a very, very entertaining game. What are we going to see from these players? What crazy antics will we have? I don't know, because I'm not a code S player and I can't see into the minds of these two great players here. Now, what I do know in a TVZ matchup here on New Cork Precinct is that things generally boil down to an East versus West battle, similar to Shakura's Plateau back in the old days of Wings of Liberty. You kind of start to bunker up on your side of the map with only two real walkways here and here. In order to get to your opponent, it's very easy for Terran players to try and just use siege tanks, planetary fortresses to cut off one of the entrances and then force a little bit of an engagement, or just force the battles and just try to push your way across. Now, there is also this no man's land in the center, which is traversable by air, meaning that we could see a lot of drop play as well. So far, Sen able to sneak through with this drone, and he will be able to scout everything out here. And is he going to be able to do it? Beautiful mineral pathing there already on the drone. In order to head back home, this SCV will not be able to catch up to the drone. They do both move at the same speed, 2.81, I believe. Yep, I do know my numbers. 2.81 as the SCV, I do not believe, is chasing that drone any longer. It doesn't look like it. It looks like the drone's SCV is just actually trying to do a bit of scouting. And yes, that will be the case as we finally see a spawning pool come in from Sen. Now, TVZ, and it looks as though we are going to be going into an economic game. Another hatchery already coming in here before the 4-minute mark. And this is very, very gutsy. A gutsy move by Sen, getting that third hatchery before the spawning pool is even completed. Now, he does know that his opponent did go for a command center first, which may perhaps be one of the reasons why he did that. Also, Top is known to build up a command center inside his own base. Perhaps he will park it off over here, and he should do that relatively quickly. Top is known as a macro-style Terran, and that's what we've seen from him in the previous days, as well as we now see Top looking to do a bit of scouting, but he has not scouted out his opponent's third base here. So what is he going to do? He's going to come back around. He will take a look at that, and I do believe he will be placing that in that command center in addition to harassing with those Hellions. He wants to make sure he has two plans to combat his opponent if his opponent tries and is trying to go for a very, very heavy economic strategy, and that is definitely the case there as a Zergling now trying to catch up to that SCV. That SCV will in fact be able to slip away unless it does too many laps around the map. So far, barracks adding on a reactor. Factory being built nearby. We all know what's going to happen here. We've seen it thousands and thousands of times before. A lift-off swap. Come on, there you go, as there is that third command center that I was talking about. So Top wants to make sure that he doesn't fall behind economically. He's instead of just focusing on Hellion harassment, going to be going into Hellion harassment with an extra command center. This will allow him to train up more SCVs just in case his Hellion harassment is not that successful. Meanwhile, Sen at this point is thinking to himself, how can I defend my 3 bases? The real options at this point for Top are either Hellions or Banshees, not even the cloaked variety. He's thinking to himself, you know what? His opponent was not able to get that much gas. I don't believe Banshees are going to be that effective, and I've already seen Hellions making their way out. Roaches would be the natural course of action here, as the overlords do spot these Hellions now trying to make their way over. However, up on the high ground, those Hellions could have dealt a bit of damage. What is this Queen looking to do? Unable to catch up there. Beautiful play by Sen, as Sen has moved over with a Queen. Top does not know that there's in fact two creep tumors now being placed down here, and this creep will continue to spread. What is this Roach and Zergling group going to be doing? I cannot quite tell. And here we go. The Roach is getting off an easy shot there, as Top now forced to retreat just a bit. Sen sitting on about a 16 supply advantage in terms of workers. This is huge at this point, as we already see 3 bases, what that additional economy will do. Top needs to figure out a timing in order to land this orbital command here, and he wants to make sure he does it at the right time. He looks like he's going to be doing it exactly now. Just calls down 1 orbital, and he's hoping that Sen is just playing defensive. If he can secure this base and not have diminishing returns, he'll actually come out ahead of this early or late early game with a superior economy. Harvester count still seen at 46 over 63. And what is going to be happening next, as we already have the orbital command landing and SCVs will be trained. 1-1 upgrades coming in. There is a macro hatch coming in, as well as we are teching the tier 2. Meanwhile, in the base of Top is going very, very heavy into, I believe, Terran bio. Now going into 5 barracks and also getting a reactor on that starport. So far, Queens, Extractors, not much to write about here. Sen eyeing to take up a 4th base and really going to be able to hit that all-important 200 supply in about 14 minutes. We could have maximum supply here in just a second. What is Sen going to follow this up with? It looks as though he is going to be going into a Spire, as Roaches now come over and do shut down a group or one of those Hellions and almost take down another. Still, we are about even, and I am surprised that both of these players are not really being that aggressive. So far, we've just had small forces. The army supply on both sides really favoring workers. 63 workers versus 39 army, 79 workers versus 30 supply in terms of army. And Sen will be forced to try and deal with all of this harassment with the small number of units that he actually has. He needs to respond extremely well, as Top now looking to go into Hellbats with the addition of an armory. There are those Hellions there. They are spotted, however, and here we go. Are the Hellions going to be able to do anything at all? The Hellions now being forced to back off. Could easily take down a Zergling or 2, decide against it, as the medevac now pulling back away. This is still all rather strange at this point. We can see that a new hatchery has been placed down, already has a fair number of workers. There we go, 8 workers already splitting out across the mineral patches, as we see the medevac will be landing here in just a moment. A lone Viking. What is this Viking doing? It is on the hunt for red overlords, and those overlords blue overlords will be popping out of the sky. Let's see what's going to be happening here. It looks as though it may be able to take one down, and it's going to be able to take down another. Free overlord hunting season already taking place here on Newkirk Precinct. That Viking going to definitely be worth it, except for the fact that Mutalisks will be coming over here in just a moment. All right, a group of Mutalisks do fly extremely quickly and are able, do not take down the Vikings, surprisingly. The Mutalisks deciding to back away, even though they do have extremely fast movement speed, decided not to fly into that group of Marines. Marines very, very efficient at taking down Mutalisks, even though they are generally smaller and have less hit points. Their rate of attack simply so high, and the fact that Mutalisks don't have armor, they don't have armor, means that they are rather easy prey at times. 164 versus 182. It looks like my prediction of maximum supply at the 14-minute mark for Sen was at least accurate, as we are now already near maximum supply at 1325. Meanwhile, Top not too far behind either. Will Sen be able to find units and engage and take them down? It looks like one Viking is going to get caught out of position again. There it goes, as the Mutalisks will regenerate all those hit points in a matter of seconds. Zerglings now coming to engage, taking down another Marine there. And it looks as though Top is gonna have a little bit of a problem. He cannot allow himself to lose so much map control to his opponent right now, as we now see double medevac drops coming in. Is it going to be successful? Marines trying to engage. Oh, all the Marines, however, quickly coming back inside. There is Overseer here, and a beautiful redrop. This was a very, very smart move to make sure that the Mutalisk didn't take down the medevacs for absolutely free. In comes the counterattack, though. Top now coming in at just the right time while all the other units are away. Zerg is now trying to come and engage, and oh, a beautiful hit there. That one Widowmine getting in 8 kills, continuing to get more damage shots here as the Banelings are just simply trying to take down all those Widowmines there. Medevacs, are they going to bother to pick up any units? The Marines and the Marauders now heading back home. Those Medevacs are once again back home together. And what will be happening next? Another drop over here off to the north. And this is those sayings, once it rains, it pours. All the attacks happening at nearly simultaneous occurrences as drops heading off to the north, heading off to the south. And that was a beautiful, beautiful play by Top, making sure to unload all of those units here and at least get a little bit of a delay. Because Top unloaded the Marines here, it forced all of the Zerglings to stick around and engage here a little bit longer, allowing a little bit of an opening in the front. All right, here you go, Marines. Widowmine's going to be burrowing. Oh, this could be some huge hits there, and there it is. Banelings just absolutely busting all over the place as the Banelings now making their way through. All right, the Widowmine unable to deal any damage there. Marines and Marauders are still trying to engage as Top unable to hold off the aggression. More Banelings looking to roll on in. Is it going to be enough? The Banelings, however, unable to take down a huge Widowmine hit there. And that was a huge hit for Top. But Sen still having 191 supply advantage compared to 129. This is definitely not looking good. You can see 4 Marines are sitting right there. They're not going to be able to do anything as another drop gets cleaned up before anything really happens. All right, is that medevac going to be able to do anything at all? It looks as though, yes, Marines will be dropped out of the sky only to get picked back up. Nope, no point in trying to save that any longer as a sea of hit point bars completely destroy all of those units. Coming back down around. Oh, this Widowmine already up with 10 kills. The Queen could have a really bad day. Nope. Does take a Widowmine in the face, but still survives somehow ever so barely. And now we'll be backing off. Marines, for some reason, sticking together in the very, very front portion here. The Zerglings completely surrounding them. And I believe Jim Raynor said it best. The worst part of the Zerg army is that they just keep coming and coming and coming. And that is what we see here. Here you go. Mutalisk going to finally finish off this orbital command. It is going to be now 3 bases to 5 in terms of location, as the Banelings may find their targets and detonate on all of these Marines. There goes another Baneling pop there, leaving this base completely wide open. No, there are a couple of Marines and a missile turret there preventing an engagement. And Top now needs to burrow this Widowmine, otherwise he's going to be in a little bit of a hurt. Nope. Unable to burrow it in time as the Mutalisks are there as well. Zerglings now coming in. It looks as though this is not the planetary fortress that Top wishes it was right now. Missile turret will get taken down, and there is nothing left to really clean up this base. Top is going to be losing to Sen here in Game 1 of the round robin TESL. And this has just been a very, very strong showing from Sen. He took a very small advantage early on and never let it go. This 70 supply advantage and this 5 base to 2 base advantage really not good for Top at all. However, Sen still needs to close the deal. It is 53 supply versus 95 in terms of army, and things are starting to trade better and better for Top, I believe. Let's take a look at the losses. Yeah, Top still down by 4,000, but I can't imagine Sen losing this game anymore. This things are just looking so strong for Sen, as we now see Top attempting to burrow there. Marines able to shoot back a group of Mutalisks. Meanwhile, off over here, a new base has finally been constructed, trying to re-establish this perhaps as a planetary fortress. Only 5 mineral patches left in the natural, and what is this, 5 in the main, and there's not that many SCVs either. Let's take a look here. We could have a new engagement. How many Banelings are in production? 51 Banelings. 20 Banelings already on the field, and you can see that how scary that looks. Banelings. Oh, and they are just going to roll on up into here. Here we go. Zerglings, Mutalisk now looking to come in and engage. What's going to be happening? Banelings now ready to go. Going to go ahead and detonate. It doesn't even matter if these Banelings do not trade efficiently at all. So many Banelings going to detonate, take down the front door, take down the bunker. Bunker is going to get taken down here. There goes a couple of units trying to take it down. And there it goes. Sen is victorious, taking the game and taking game 1 in the set. Please stay tuned for game 2.